Hey, 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 my friends. My name is Denise Walsh, and welcome to Design Your Dream Schedule. Each and every month in the Dream Life community, we have an expert CEO mindset Zoom. And today we are going to talk all about time management with me. So I am super glad to have you here. And if you've got any questions throughout the presentation, then absolutely share in the chats. And at the end, I will be going through it. All right, so let me share my screen here to this welcome slide. Isn't it beautiful? I actually had help creating this, and I'll tell you a bit more about that as we go through it, but it's something I learned. It doesn't all have to be generated by me. If it's not my skill set, outsource it. So you'll see some of that today, and I think that is super powerful when you really realize that you don't need to be the go-to person for everything. So again, big welcome. Let's jump right into the content. Okay, so my first question is why are you not living your dream life now? Really, let's think about it. Do you feel like you have no time? Do you feel like you have no energy? Do you feel drained at the end of the day? Do you feel like you have little focus? In the chat, I'd love to hear your barrier to living your dream life right now. Is it time, like you've got too much to do and not enough time in the day? Are you drained at the end of the day and you really don't have any energy left? Or do you have so much going on, so many plates, if you will, like spinning, that you are multitasking all the time, right? And you have no clear focus. So it's really interesting about knowing the specific barrier to living your dream life is you can then tailor what you do to fix it, right? So my sister, she's got 3 little kids under the age of 5. And she feels drained at the end of the day. Can I get an amen? You know, she's got 3 little kids running around. Who need entertainment and food and all of the things provided for them. And so by the end of the day, she feels so drained. So what she's learned is because of this, to prioritize her day to get her action, like her goal, dream life action steps at the beginning of the day, because she has more energy. Dave says too much time at work, so little time outside of the daily job to fit in things. And so it feels like too much to do, too little time, and nothing actually ever gets done or changes. So imagine what life would feel like if you had a plethora of time, if you had a plethora of energy, overflowing energy, and you had such a clear focus that you got things done, and you got to ask yourself, all right, what's next? Rhonda says not focused. You know what? I think so many times we live decades in this way. No time, no energy, and no focus, and we feel like we are drowning. So let's talk about what we can do about it. Because when we live this way, my friends, right, life's happening to us. You know what I mean? We have all of these plates spinning in the air. We're reacting instead of responding. And we have a longer list than we have time. So if you can see, I want to make sure you can see my screen. For some reason, I just got nervous about that. So if you can, please say yes. Life is happening to you. You have a longer list than you have time. Year after year after year, nothing changes. And you feel like you are in a hamster wheel. I don't know if you've ever felt like this. Give me an amen, because I lived in this way for far too long. I was reacting to life instead of responding to life, and it felt like I was in a hamster wheel. Nothing ever changed. I desired for things to change, but because I had no time, because I had no energy, and because I had no focus, nothing did. All right. Oh, I'm going to make sure everybody is muted. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so let's move on, because after our presentation today, my desire is that you have a schedule that you can stick with, that not only gives you more time. Like, you know, the things you're doing in your calendar are actually taking you somewhere, but it gives you more energy because you're excited about what actions you're doing. You're excited about what you're working on, and you kind of get filled with joy throughout your day because you're doing things that fill you up. And then because you've got one clear focus, you're seeing results. And I think that can be one of the discouraging things when we're trying for a goal, is if we don't see progress, we can easily give up, right? And so because we're creating a schedule that gives you time, that creates energy within your day and gives you that clear focus, you are excited about it and you're actually seeing results. If you're interested in this, let me hear in the comments. So a little bit about me before we jump into the material. My name is Denise Walsh. I've got 2 little boys. They've got red hair. They're super cute. I actually had to do IVF with my boys, which is something that is not typically expected, right? You don't think that's going to happen to you, but it did. And when Owen came out with red hair, I thought, what, did we accidentally get our embryos switched during the waiting room with the other people that were in there? And then I found out that has actually happened to couples and is not a funny joke. And then when I knew I was pregnant with the second boy, I thought there's no way they could look alike, but they absolutely do. I love my little redheaded boys. In fact, it is my dream to take them to Ireland in the year 2021 when Owen is 10 to celebrate their Irish roots. It's really fun. And now we have 9 embryos left, which is the question we get all the time. Are we going for a third? I don't know. We've got 9 embryos yet left and time to figure out what to do with them. But I have been a clinical psychologist. I got my master's in clinical psychology and worked in the community mental health world for about 5 years. And then I spent the last 12 and a half years business coaching and helping people design their dream life by stepping outside their comfort zone, creating a plan that works for them, and then supporting them when they run. And so you guys, I know that the skills I'm about to teach you today have not only helped me grow a business and design my dream life, but they've helped thousands of my teammates as well. So before we get started, please take out a piece of paper, a pen, a calendar, because I am going to ask you to take action today. I'm not just going to give you things to do outside of the webinar. I want us to actually do it here, so you leave with a clear game plan. And then turn off your phone and any distractions so you can actually do the exercises I'm going to ask you to do. So I'll give you a minute to get all cozied up in your nice reading chair, maybe with your coffee and your notebook and your calendar, and off we go. So ask yourself, what is it that is blocking you from living your dream life? This is, again, like I mentioned, pretty important, because then we can create a solution based on your specific need. If it's time, if it's energy, if it's focus, we're going to be able to help clear any of those up for you now. All right, so let's start with really figuring out what it is that we want. These are the 7 areas of life: finances, family, friendship, health, hobbies, business, and giving back. So what I'd like you to do is write a list of all 7 areas, and I'm going to give you about 3 minutes. And again, this is something you can come back to later on to brain dump anything that you want to see, do, have, experience in any of these categories. So think about what life would look like as a 10 in each area of life. So a 10 in finances, what would that look like? Debt-free, house paid for, dream house, savings, college, vacations. What would a 10 in finances look like for you? Think about what it would look like to have a 10 in family. Would that be vacations? Would that be time, like date nights? Would that be, for me, I've got my boys that easily and effortlessly go to school in the morning. That is one of my affirmations. We have a great drive to school. We have, a peaceful home. We are doing fun things together, but we also can, entertain ourselves. What about for you? What about a 10 in friendship? Is that retreat weekends? Is that giving, volunteering at church? Is that coffee dates? Is that, what does that look like for you to have outside of your family relationships? And then what about health? Now, as I'm talking, I'm wanting you to kind of think of your own, and certainly you can brainstorm in the chats. Let us know anything you're thinking about. But is it a specific weight that would be healthy for you? Is it losing 30 pounds? Is it getting more active? Is it joining a gym, meal planning, thinking about ways to increase healthier options in your home? Is it going to the doctor or going to yoga, or, what is it for you? What would a 10 health look like for you? And then we've got hobbies. What does a 10 in hobbies look like for you? Maybe it's racquetball, or maybe it's rollerblading, maybe it's going for walks, maybe it's just crocheting again, or knitting, or, having a few things that you can do that decompress you, that fill you up and relax you. Business. What does a 10 in business look like? Is it a specific income per month? Is it a specific rank? What does it look like for you to have a successful business? Is it maybe having people on your leaders on your team? Is it maybe having a personal team that helps you with designers and website people and social media help, all those things? What does a successful business look like for you? And then giving back. A 10 in giving back. Is that giving back financially? Is that giving back in your time? What does it look like to give back? And I think this is a really important piece of the journey, because we don't give ourselves space to dream as often as we could, right? You may need to Google some things. What are some cool family trips? What are some cool things that you can do? What is it that you might want to do? Google it, brainstorm, start thinking about it, and then brain dump what a 10 would look like in all areas of life. So the reason why we do that is it certainly gets our creative juices flowing. And although I do believe we can live a Dream 10 life in all areas at the same time, we don't have to choose. I think a lot of us think we have to choose between family and success in business, and that's just not true. We really can thrive in all areas of life at the same time, but we can't work on them all at the same time. So next, I want you to pick one area of life that will be your first dream life goal. Okay. Now, what you'll think of is something that maybe will impact all other areas. It'll domino effect and impact all other areas. So maybe it's business. Well, that will impact finances. That might impact family and friendship. That might impact health. If you think of if your health goal is predominant, then that might impact your business, your finances, your friendships, your hobbies, that kind of thing. So what you want to do is pick one that will impact all other areas, and the one that's the most important to you right now. Choose your goal date to be in about 90 days. I do think that 90 days is a good goal to start with, because it's far enough to help you, see a difference, but then it's not too far where you push it off, or you think it's like, never going to happen, or seems really far away, right? So you want to choose a goal date in about 90 days. And here's what I want you to do. I will goal, what is that? What you want to accomplish by 90 days from now. Choosing a specific goal is really important. So instead of saying, I will be healthier in 90 days, you would want to say something like, I will lose 30 pounds within 90 days. I will lose 10 pounds in 90 days. I will earn $1,000 a month within 90 days. You want it to be as specific as possible, because when you set a specific goal, it really retrains your brain to go after that specific goal. Vague goals equal vague results. So here's why we want to reverse engineer it. We've got a 90-day game plan. We know what we want, whether it's a business goal or a health goal. We then want to reverse engineer it. And again, this is where that big dream, I say, turns into small steps. And that's really important. You've got your vision. You know what you want. You're excited about it. You can picture it. You're creating a personal vision of yourself where you see yourself 3 steps ahead. But in order to accomplish it, you've got to have small daily steps. And sometimes we have the big dream and we're like, I don't even know how to get there, right? And that can overwhelm us. Sometimes we're hard workers, but we don't really have a big dream. And so we get to cultivate both of those skills. A big dream, but yet what am I going to do on a daily basis in order to get there? So we want to reverse engineer 90 days to 30 days. What do you need to do each month? If you're going to lose 10 pounds a month, what does that look like each week? What does that look like each day? If your goal is a business goal, you want to earn $1,000 within 90 days. What does that look like for each month, each week, and each day? So the next piece of this process is to brain dump all of your life actions. So your life actions, this is specific life actions: work, laundry, kids, relationship time. Marketing and generating leads will actually be on the next slide. Working out, meal prepping, like what is life? What life things do you have to do? Because I do know that we're setting dream life goals and still raising children and working full time and doing all of these things, right? So we want to be sure that we're getting life done too. But we'll talk about in a minute, it doesn't always have to be us, and it doesn't always need to get done today. So brain dump all of your life actions. Write a list. What do you need to spend your time on every day? Maybe every month, maybe not every day you clean your house, but every week you clean the bathrooms, whatever it is. Brain dump your list. And I'm going to give you a minute as I kind of talk and stall so you can write down a bit more. And again, think about what needs to be done. So after you brain dump all of your life actions, you're also going to brain dump all of your dream life goal action items. So you see how they're a little bit different. Life actions would be laundry, cleaning, food, kids, work, all of that. Dream life goal actions are specific to the current goal you're working on. If it's health, they're going to be a little different than if it's your business, or if it's relationships. If you are wanting to really add value within your marriage, then that might shift your priorities. So dream life goal action items might be marketing or sales content, creating content to post on social, going live, personal development, training your team, creating products, following up, whatever it is for your specific dream life goal, you want to brain dump those as well. So you now kind of have a master list, a list of all the things that needs to happen for life, and then a list of all of the action items that need to happen for your current dream life goal. Now, one example of this is I did not go Black Diamond in our company and do a bodybuilding competition the same year. I didn't. I went Black Diamond in 2015. I did a bodybuilding competition in 2016. I wrote Design Your Dream Life in 2017. You know what I mean? Like every year, I rearranged my day and rearranged my priorities based on my current dream life goal. So you brain dump your current action items for both life, right? And your goal and your dream life goal action items. And what happens is, we'll get to that one in a minute. You actually then want to rank them. You want to rank them because what you'll find is that some things you're spending time on aren't helping you get to your goal. So rank 1, this needs to be you, and it's helping you towards your goal. So an example of this would be following up. Maybe if you're doing voice messages, it needs to be you. Maybe if you're sending out 20 to 50 random messages in a day, doesn't need to be you. You can think about that. I know a lot of people who outsource some stuff on social media. You can get people to help you, copy and paste. Rank 1 for you could be, for me, it's very important that I pick my boys up from school. Maybe not every day, but it's in my calendar to pick my boys up from school. That's a one activity for me because I want to do that, because based on my 10s, like family, I want to pick my boys up from school. So that's important. Rank 2 needs to be you, but doesn't help you towards your goal, or doesn't need to be you, but does need to get done. So typically rank 2s are maybe when we ask for help or put it to the back burner for a season. For example, laundry needs to get done, but might not need to be you. Dishes needs to get done, might not need to be you. You can think about things like recognition within your team. It needs to be you, but it might not be specifically helping you towards your goal. You can think about what a rank 2 would be for you. Rank 3 doesn't need to be you and doesn't help you towards your goal. So this is when we outsource, right? We outsource. We either get help, we use paper plates, we put laundry in her. I have a friend who decided that folding laundry was not helping her get to her goal. So she put all the laundry in one room on a bed, and everybody went in there to go get their clothes in the morning. You know, she reprioritized her day. So rank 1, rank 2, and rank 3. You can even think about this in terms of your business. Are you spending time on things that are actually making you money? Rank 1 is, this is making me money. Rank 2, this needs to be done. Rank 3, this is not making me money. And you can think about scrolling on social media, or working with people who aren't working, or spending time in teams that don't need you. That kind of thing could be a rank 3, and you can re-rank your business priorities as well. So then what we do is we put the actions back on our calendar. We put the actions back on our calendar. So we've got the 90-day goal with our brain dumped actions, right? Our life and our business actions. And then we put the actions back in our calendar. Some of them we don't. Some of them we say, I'm doing this, but it's not super important right now. And I'm going to reprioritize my time and not put this back on my calendar. I'm going to give you a few examples. I put my calendar as my Google Calendar, and I honestly break everything into hour or half-hour segments. So I have my workout. I know when I'm reading. I get my kids ready for school. Going live in the Dream Life community and Dream Space community, Black Diamond Mine and Dream Life community is on my calendar. It's on my calendar. I don't typically think, oh, I'm bored and inspired, I want to go live. It's in my calendar, and I know I'm going to do it. I've got projects I'm working on. I'm creating a speech for my November what is it called? It's called the Women's CEO Women's Business Summit in California, and I'm working on that speech. I have my podcast interviews in my schedule. I even put lunch in my schedule, so I know that I get to eat. And then I've got following up, using my Connect app to follow up with customers, all that kind of stuff. I often put my home activities surrounding when I'm with my boys. So I don't work a ton when I'm with my boys, because it's not as easy to do a full-blown call when you've got all these interruptions. I will for sure, but I'll do my home activities after I pick my boys up from school. So you want everything to get a spot on your calendar, family and work and your dream life actions, and be as detailed as possible. How many times have you sat down to quote unquote work and you're like, I don't even know what to do right now? How many times are you scrolling and you're like, well, this is not really productive? You're like, when I sit down to work, or to either work on Dream Life stuff or work on my business, my goal is that I have a detailed plan of what I'm going to do during that hour. Have you ever heard of, it's called Deep Work is the name of the book. And they talk about how we multitask all the time. And when we multitask, we really aren't getting anything done, and we're not getting in the zone. We're not getting in the flow of our actions and of our work. So I want to plan at least an hour, so maybe 3, to really work and get in the zone and the flow of what I'm doing. So if that doesn't work in your schedule, that's okay. You can still put Dream Life actions within your day. And I have an example of that as well. So here is when I was working full time. I would work out and read, get kids ready for school, get to work. I pair driving with personal development. I pair getting ready in the morning with personal development. I'm always, when I'm doing something that doesn't require a lot of thought, even laundry, I know what I'm going to listen to. I've got podcasts I listen to, and I'm constantly having something in my ear. So if I were working 9 to 5, let's say, throughout that day, I would have some Dream Life actions ready. For example, following up 10 messages during one break, post during lunch, following up. I would have a goal to call 5 people on my way home from work. And if I didn't, then I would push it back and do 10 the next day or whatever. I made a goal because I knew if I set a goal and I put it on my calendar, then I would do it. Okay. And what's interesting is that I found that the more I inserted my business in my normal workday, the more excited I was when I got home to continue. What I find is that it's honestly not a lack of time that we have. It's often a lack of energy that we have, because when we get home for work, we're like, I'm so tired. I just want to veg out. I just want to relax. So when you put in your Dream Life actions, maybe as on your drive home or when you first get home or something, then you'll find that you're more apt to keep going. So again, meal prepping for the next day, homework, all of that. So let's talk specifically for a business goal. Income producing activities for a business goal, no matter what business you're in, is all about generating leads, generating people who want your product or service. This is marketing. This is ads. This is setting appointments. This is creating content for social media. This is for building your network. You want to grow your network, so you grow your influence, so you grow the eyes on your stuff. So generating leads is all about growing your network. I do this with podcast interviews, with creating YouTube stuff, with Facebook, Instagram. We do ads, we boost posts. We do a lot to get more eyes on our content because we know the content is good. Following up with them. You can't just have people see you, right? You want to build relationships. You want to schedule one-on-one calls, appointments, parties, lunch dates. So that way you are getting to know your clients and what they need most and offering them a time to say yes to you. And then connecting with your current team, training newbies, leaders, etc. Remember, ask yourself, is this business activity providing me revenue? Is it bringing me new business? Is it offering retention within my business, building that community, the rapport, or is it creating ways for recognition? Those 3 R's are really important when you're doing business-based activities, because you know they're actually taking you in a direction that you want rather than, scrolling Facebook and losing an hour of your day. So again, here's a weekly planner that we created for you guys. I did post this in the Dream Space community. I did ask my new designer to make an hour one, and she just gave me that, so I'll post that as well. And what I have found is that design is not my strong suit, and so it would always be a barrier for me. I'd have all these great ideas and I'd write them in a Word doc and not know what to do next. And so I decided, instead of spending hours on Canva trying to create my own stuff, which I did, and it didn't look good, is I then outsourced to Upwork is the name of the place. It's called Upwork. You can outsource a lot of little, daily virtual assistant stuff, anything. And so I found a designer that I really like and is now able to create things. So I'll give her a Word doc. She makes it beautiful. Oh my gosh. That's, again, something where it needs to be done, but it doesn't need to be me. So when you think about yourself, putting all of the detailed actions in your calendar, what happens when you create this detailed calendar of what you're going to do is a couple things. Number one, you're excited about it. You wake up with a game plan. It takes away the thinking. You don't have to think, what should I do today? You've already created that outline, so you know to go do it. When I did the bodybuilding competition, my coach gave me a workout schedule and a meal plan. I didn't have to think. I just had to execute. I just did it. And I knew that when I did it, I was going to get good results. And I did. And so the goal of this is to give you a plan that you then can run, right? You don't have to think, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to question, you don't have to second guess. You know what you're doing and it's taking you somewhere. Another example is when I was working to create Dream Space online. So we did our big event, Dream Space, in January, and it was so amazing and so fun that I really wanted to create a way to get it out into the masses that maybe couldn't come to Grand Rapids, or I couldn't travel there and all of that. And so we just created Dream Space Online, which is an online e-course where I get to share the content and then walk you through the exercises, and you can do it at your own pace. And I was telling my sister, I said, oh my gosh, Lisa, I need 3 days to do this. I need 3 days to brain dump and to video record and all of this. And I only have a couple hours because my boys are home for the summer and this is just not working. And she said, well, put it in your calendar. Ask mom to babysit for 3 days and do it, And I thought, I need to take my own advice. And so I did. I had my mom watch my boys for a day. Miss Chrissy, our nanny, was here one day. Brandon was here one day, and I brain dumped and I did it and I cranked it out. And it was because I gave it a spot on the calendar. Another example is when I was working on Design Your Dream Life, my workbook. I remember thinking, in the nooks and crannies of my day, I will write. Well, months went by and nothing happened. I did not have nooks and crannies. And when I did, I didn't really know what to do. So I then realized I had to put it on my calendar. And then I had to be super specific. For example, write Design Your Dream Life. What does that mean? I had to say outline Design Your Dream Life. work on research for mindset, work on research for meditation, write this, and I ended up having a coach that I talked to each and every week to help hold me accountable and give me ideas and feedback as we went along in the process. So every time I've had a new goal, I've had to rearrange my calendar and reprioritize and say, all right, well, where is this going to fit in? And again, I didn't write the book while I was doing the bodybuilding competition because I couldn't work on them all at the same time. So print this off. And again, I recommend going through this each Sunday where you can say, this is my action for the week. This action is taking me towards this goal, and break it down to hour or half-hour increments if you can. All right, so let's talk about asking for help, because I think a lot of us think that we need to do it all. I had someone ask, oh my gosh, I've got 3 little kids, or I've got this going on, I've got this going on, and blah, 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 and I can't, I'm drowning. And she said, what do I do? And my first response is, you get help. You don't do it all. You don't do it all. You ask for help, whether you ask for help from spouses, from team, from teenagers, from maybe you get a babysitter twice a week from your youth group for a few hours. You get some help, because we cannot do it all, and we don't need to. We really want to spend our time and our energy and our brain space on the things that are helping us grow and the things that matter to us most. So there are some things that you can do to ask for help. You can go to Upwork like I did and say, dude, I could learn design, but that is not my thing, and I need help. And find someone who can help you and assist you in that way. Now, one thing that I hear a lot of is, I don't have money or income to hire things out. And one recommendation I would ask or add, in order, if you're somebody who's thinking that right now, is find out how much it will cost. Because I do think we often overestimate how much things are. For example, in our old house, someone cleaning it was like $75. So $75 for them to deep clean my house once a month was absolutely worth the brain space this gave me. Now that I knew that it was $75, I could go create that. I could go earn that. I could go get a faster. I could, there's a lot of things that I could do in order to make the $75. Now in our bigger house, it's $200 for them to come. Now that I know that, I can go earn that, and it's giving me brain space to do the things that I know I'm excited and wanting to do. When I was building my business, I remember thinking, my mom was a stay-at-home mom and had dinner on the table each and every night. And I went through this season of like, I need to be just like my mom and do all these things and never ask for help and whatever. And then I realized, dude, she was not building a multi-million-dollar business. So our mothering strategies are going to look different. And I have great community. We have a nanny we've had for 5 to 6 years. My mom lives nearby. We have an aunt. We've got there's so much love surrounding my boys that me asking for help actually added value to our family rather than taking away. So think about the things that are maybe ranked 2 or ranked 3 on your list that you can ask for help. Next up is accountability. This is really important, and this is something in the Dream Life community we really strive to help create for you, is accountability. Whether it's in a group or one-on-one, you will do more if you believe others are watching. I've had several accountability groups. In fact, I've been in one for several years now, where we meet twice a month on Wednesdays, and we just say, what did you do between now and the last time we met? Did you get it done? And what can we help support you with? I had a community or an accountability partner where we met once a day for 5 minutes, and we just chatted every day. What's your action for today? Did you do it? What's going on? All right. And it was a short accountability, but I know that I got more done the night before because I knew I was talking to my accountability partner, Dave, the next day. We also have one in Grand Rapids that we created. Every 6 weeks, we meet for dinner. And again, we are saying, what's your goal between now? What's your action item between now and the next time we meet? And how can we support you? And so we meet tomorrow. And my goal, my action item was to launch Dream Space online before our next meeting. And is almost ready to be launched. So I'm excited to report back to the group. So I do think that creating accountability is important. Nobody's going to come to you and say, hey, I care more about your life than you do. So tell me, what are you up to? No, nobody cares more about your life, your business, your family than you do. So you do need to have some responsibility here in reaching out and saying, hey, I would love support in this area. Who else does as well? And create a group of other people who are just as invested in their lives too. My accountability group, my mastermind group, is people from all walks of life and all different kinds of businesses. And it's given me so much perspective and so much insight. And it's been a really great addition to my life. So go seek it out if you don't have one. And also, if you want one within the Dream Life community, then post in the accountability unit. And every week I go in and pair people up. And what you'll find is that as you're taking this action, as you're doing the things that you know are taking you in the direction that you want, that are helping you hit your goals, that you're going to be inspired. Now, inspired action is when you're in the zone, when things happen quickly and excitedly, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe an hour passed by. And not to say that it's never going to be hard, or you might have challenging moments, because we're all learning and growing and kind of busting through our own personal glass ceiling. And we all need to kind of grow in that area, but you're going to be excited to do it. So forced action is the opposite of inspired action. Forced action is when it feels like the daily grind, where you don't love it. In fact, you hate it, and it like sucks the soul right out of you, right? That's what we don't want. And if you feel like you're in a situation where you're at a job you don't like, that kind of thing, the goal, or my hope would be, is that you can add in some of your dream life activities, and that can give you back some of your spark. What I know is that when I do my dream life activities, whether it's business or health or whatever goal I'm focusing on now, I feel more energized and more excited to keep going. I always tell people my business gives me energy. It doesn't take away energy. So when I work on my business, I start to feel full again. And I think that is one thing people miss sometimes, is they feel too tired to get started, but they forget that once they get started, they're going to be excited to keep going. And then we'll take that goal, right? That big 90-day goal, and we'll create these actions that are going to help us get there. Reading, personal development, marketing, all of the details, right? That get you to your goal. And the idea is that it starts to create habits. You're going to create success habits on this journey. So that goal turned into smaller actions that you do every day will then create success habits where it doesn't seem hard anymore. You don't need to put brushing your teeth on your calendar because you just do it. I don't need to put reading on my calendar because I'm in the success zone where I'm doing these things so consistently that it feels fun and not hard. The other thing that you can do is you can review and reward yourself. So every few weeks, a review. Is this helping me? Is this not? What's not working? You're not fixed in a game plan that's not working. You are always flexible, and you're able to review and adjust as needed, and then set yourself up for some rewards, because we want to celebrate the journey. I know that the finish line is not really the finish line, because we're going to often quickly ask ourselves what's next. So we want to reward every single step of the way. So now is the time. If you've got any questions on how to create your dream schedule, please ask now. I know that I've had to rearrange my dream schedule several times based on my new goal. So you may have to go to the drawing board in 3 months or in a year and rethink how you're spending your time. But I would love any questions in the chat that you have that I can address now. And I am, as you guys are posting anything you got, I am excited to announce that I did create space in my calendar this summer for Dream Space Online. Discover your purpose and develop your plan. It's 14 intensive steps to finally getting unstuck and living your dream life. And so what I get to do in Dream Space Online is I get to walk you through some of my favorite exercises that we do during my live event. And I share with you kind of my presentation and the theories behind it, as well as give you a space to print off the worksheet and do it yourself. So this is almost ready. I'm recording a video today, and Brandon's got a few things on the back end to finish up. But I wanted to share it with you because not only will you guys get first dibs on this e-course being a part of the Dream life community, but you'll also be able to refer it to anybody you know that is interested. So if they, you know, whether they're in a business or not, maybe they feel stuck, this is going to certainly help them with that, because the first session is called Spark. Spark is where we reconnect with who you are and who God created you to be. We create your life purpose statement. We connect with your clarity. You know, I think a lot of times people will say to me, I don't even know what I want for dinner. How am I going to know what I want, you know, in 5 years or in 3 years? So we're going to reconnect with and create clarity for you in Spark. And then we also have Release. Release is letting go of what is holding you back. And you guys, this is probably the most powerful session. Kristen was at Dream Space, the live event, and oh my goodness, you guys, she's on this now. I just saw her name, so I know she's got some feedback on all 3 of these different sessions. But Release is the most powerful, I think, because it's the stuff we often don't want to do. We've got things, right? We've got stuff. We've got emotional tethers that are holding us back, and we need to work through them so we can truly heal and focus forward. So I teach you all about that, and this is really an onion layer of healing for you. And then we've got Dream. So we take that dream and we put it into practice. You'll hear much of this Design Your Dream schedule content, but also more, including affirmations, visualization, how to do that, and what to do on a daily basis so you actually see results in your life. Because that is my prayer for all of us, right? That we're not just learning, but that we're applying and we're seeing a change, because all of us have the ability to change our legacy. We have the ability to change our family for generations. We have the ability to make more than our parents did. We have the ability to teach our kids something different. But it means we actually put it on our calendar and make things happen. So Spark, Release, and Dream are the 3 sessions in there, 14 intensive exercises, plus the Dream Space live recordings from the January event, as well as access to all the CEO Mindset Zoom. So my goal was to have it ready for today, and it's not quite ready. It'll probably be later this week, but I wanted to share it with you because you guys are going to get first dibs and then can connect it with anybody you know what I mean? Because you know people that I know you're thinking of right now who go, oh my gosh, you've been complaining for years, so you need this. I know some too. So, all right. Well, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Design Your Dream Schedule is truly a place, a strategy where you can say yes to your dreams, and then you give it such a specific spot on your calendar that you're saying yes every single day, and you are excited about it because you know it's taking you in the direction that you want. And so, my friends, I don't know where you're at in this whole journey, but I do know that this is going to be an amazing piece to the puzzle for you. So get out your calendar. If you haven't printed it off from the file section in the Dream Life community, then go do that right now. And then send me a screenshot of your revised calendar. I want to see how you are doing it. And if you've got any questions, I'm here to answer them too. So any other thoughts or questions before we end today? All right. Well, thank you guys. I so appreciate hanging out with you. If you've got any questions, let me know. And I would seriously, I'm not kidding when I say message me or post in the community your revised calendar, because I want to see what you've got. Have an amazing day, my friends, and we'll see you in the next one.